Hey crochet fans, Tasha here. Today we're talking about 2 ways in which you can match your row height in a gauge swatch. Now in a previous video I showed you how to make your gauge swatches and how to adjust your stitch size. And that's what you'd want to do first. It's easier to get your stitch size than your row height. But once you have your stitch size, then you can go ahead and adjust your row height. And that means I'm using the correct hook now for my project. And the first way I'm going to show you is called an extended stitch. I'm using a swatch of single crochet, so we're going to do an extended single crochet just as a sample. Extended stitches have an extra chain in them, which means when we do our turning chains, we also need to add an extra chain. Since I'm doing single crochet, which has a standard chain 1 as a turning chain, I'm actually going to do 2 chains. Alright, and I'm going to go into the first stitch like normal, yarn over and pull up the loop so that I have 2 loops on my hook, and this is where the stitch is a bit different. I'm going to yarn over and only go through 1 of those loops on the hook, and that is where I made a chain. Then I'll yarn over and finish off that stitch. And you'll notice it's just a little bit taller than a regular single crochet. So we'll do that again. Go in to your stitch, pull up a loop so you have your 2. But when you yarn over, only go through 1 loop. You just made a chain. Yarn over, go through the remaining 2 loops. I'll do one more. And there you have 4 extended single crochet stitches, and you can see them compared to the regular single crochets just below. They're a little bit taller, and that may work for the project that you're doing. I'll show you a sample. This is 10 rows and 10 stitches single crochet. This is 10 rows, 10 stitches, extended single crochet. Show you those side by side, and you can see there's a considerable height difference. So after 10 rows, this is the extra height that you would get, or at least that I got with my swatches here. And this may be a bit too much for the pattern that you're working in, but maybe you could alternate regular single crochet and then extended single crochet so that the extended stitches give you that little bit of extra height. Just play around with your swatch and see if that would solve your gauge issue. The second option you have is doing more of an exaggerated loop inside your single crochet. So this is going back to a regular single crochet. Go in and pull up a loop. This is the loop that you can play around with. Make it a little bit taller than you usually would, and that is going to raise the height of your stitch. Yarn over and go through the 2 just like normal. So yarn over, pull up that loop, and pull it out a little bit extra. Yarn over, go through your 2 loops. So these are going to be a little bit taller than a normal single crochet, and you can play around with it. This is kind of somewhere in between a regular single crochet and the extended single crochet, and you have to play around with this a little bit more. It does give you the flexibility, but it also means that you need to be a little more diligent about being consistent in those loop sizes. So here you see regular single crochet. We have 4 stitches of the extended single crochet, and then there's 5 stitches here of the exaggerated loop inside the single crochet. So try out those few different techniques and see if that helps you out with your row height in your gauge swatch. Happy crocheting!